में। और मैं हूं आपका होस्ट हिमांशु निर्बान। और आज हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं कर्नाटक से एक बहुत ही खास मेहमान जिनका नाम है कैप्टन गणेश कार्णिक, रिटायर्ड। सर ने इंडियन आर्मी 1981 में ज्वाइन करी थी और इसके बाद ही एज अ कैप्टन रिटायर हुए हैं 1988 में। सर इंडियन फील्ड आर्टिलरी रेजिमेंट में रहे हैं और इन्होंने अपनी सेवाएं देश के विभिन्न हिस्सों में दी हैं, जिसमें मुख्य रूप से जम्मू कश्मीर और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एरियाज के क्षेत्र शामिल हैं। रिटायरमेंट के बाद में सर ने लमिनेटे ग्रुप लमीना ग्रुप ज्वाइन करा किया था 1989 में, जो कि काफ़ी बड़ी सारी एक इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रुप है। साथ में सर जो है राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के एक सक्रिय मेंबर रहे हैं बचपन से, और इनका लगाव काफ़ी और जुड़ाव काफ़ी रहा है राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ में। इसके अलावा साल 2006 में सर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की टिकट पे साउथ वेस्ट टीचर्स कंस्टिट्यूएंसी सीट से कर्नाटक के जो मेंबर ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल है उसके लिए विधायक चुने गए थे साल 2006 में। उसके बाद सर ने दूसरा अपना सेकंड टर्म वहीं से जीतकर 2012 में कर्नाटक की लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल में वापस चुनकर आए थे। उसके बाद सर जो है एनआरआई फोरम के भी साथ इसके साथ ही हेड रहे हैं कर्नाटक के, जिसमें इन्होंने विश्व की विभिन्न देशों की यात्राएं करके भारत का एक प्रतिनिधित्व किया है। उसके अलावा सर ने काफ़ी सारे डिफरेंट एजुकेशन ग्रुप्स के साथ में भी काम किया है, और ये एज अ अपोजिशन मेंबर भी रहे हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कर्नाटक लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल के अंदर। तो सर आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे शो में सर।
बहुत धन्यवाद, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जी सर। तो सर आज का सर हमारा सर जो ये शो है सर ये रहेगा, जो भी सर भारतीय किसान यूनियन जिसका के मुखिया राकेश टिकैत और पंजाब के विभिन्न जो संगठन हैं जो दिल्ली में नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार द्वारा लाए हुए जो 3 कृषि बिल हैं उनके विरोध में इन्होंने डेरा डाल के रखा है, जिसमें 3 जगह, एक सिंगू बॉर्डर, गाजीपुर और टिकरी, यहाँ पे 3 जगह पे इन्होंने नेशनल हाईवे पे सब क्लोज करके वहाँ पे धरने प्रदर्शन पे बैठे हुए हैं। और ये आंदोलन इनका पंजाब से शुरू हुआ था सन अक्टूबर 2020 में, जिसके बाद 26 जनवरी 2021 को जो इन्होंने एक दंगा भड़काया इनके थ्रू। तो सर उसके ऊपर आज हम थोड़ी देर में आपको आज चर्चा करनी है आपके साथ में। तो
जी,
सर मेरा आपसे सर कुछ सवाल है, और सवालों में सर पहला सवाल है कि सर ऐसा क्या कारण है कि जो ये सर फार्मर्स बिल है इस पे आपका क्या ओपिनियन है सर, ये फार्मर्स बिल कैसे फायदेमंद है भारत के किसानों के लिए।
ओके। हिमांशु जी, सबसे पहले मैं आपको धन्यवाद कहना चाहता हूँ दो
जी
चीज के लिए। एक तो आप ये इंडियन वैलर सबसे ज्यादा, ये जब मैं से माजी पूर्व सैनिक हूँ, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
जी सर।
दूसरी चीज, इंडिया का जो क्या बोलते हैं, द क्वालिटी ऑफ इंडियननेस, या अपने अंदर जो इंडिया के बारे में जो प्राइड है। शायद आपके जो ये यूट्यूब चैनल है, इस इंडियन प्राइड को दिखाने में आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
जी सर।
सेकंड चीज जो है, आप कंटेम्प्ररी इश्यूज जो समाज में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दे हैं, उनके बारे में जानकारी हासिल करना और उस जानकारी को सबके साथ बांटना, ये अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं। मैं आपको बधाई देना चाहता हूं। और जितने सारे व्यूअर्स हैं उनसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं, ऐसे अच्छे लोग जो समाज में अच्छे चीज के लिए जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं उनके साथ देना है। और ज्यादा से ज्यादा हो सकता है तो आप इस वीडियो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, मैं उनसे विनती करना चाहता हूँ। मेरी हिंदी जैसे आप की जो हिंदी है ना उतनी अच्छी नहीं है, और जो मुद्दे आपने उठाया, जो क्वेश्चंस आप पूछ रहे हैं,
जी बिल्कुल
मैं
सर।
कोशिश करूंगा इसको अंग्रेजी में जवाब देने की कोशिश करूंगा, ठीक है ना?
बिल्कुल श्योर सर।
ओके। हिमांशु जी ने जो एक बात नहीं कहा वो है कि मैं बीएससी एग्रीकल्चर ग्रेजुएट हूँ।
ओके।
फौज में भर्ती होने से पहले मैंने एग्रीकल्चर को एक विषय रखे पढ़ा है मैंने।
जी
और
सर।
जब मैं कॉलेज में पढ़ता था, ये जो एपीएमसी के जो एक्ट, उसके बारे में थोड़ा जानकारी और थोड़ा मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन हमें अपने लेक्चरों से और किताबों से मिलती थी।
हम्म।
So when I was a student undergoing training in agriculture,
हम्म।
I was told by my teachers that this APMC Act, Agriculture Produce Marketing Act, has major loopholes. So we used to be told that the APMC Act in its present form, it is implemented, the farmer is going to be at the mercy of the middlemen. इसका मतलब क्या है? जो अर्थियां है या जो दलाल है, जो कमीशन एजेंट्स है, they used to monopolize the purchase procedures of the farm produce. This is one part. So the protest that you refer to in three different borders in Haryana, Punjab, and UP is a issue which has some concerns about the farming sector. Farming sector, the farmer, poor farmer, has always suffered because of two, three things. Number one is non-availability of cash, which is non-availability of access to banks. This is the first part. Second is non-availability of a pricing structure commensurate with the cost of cultivation. इसका मतलब क्या है? जो प्रोड्यूस आप प्रोड्यूस करते हैं उसको बाजार में ठीक दाम नहीं मिलना. तीसरी चीज है, इसको मार्केट एक्सेस बोलते हैं. दिस फार्मर कुड नॉट take it to the right kind of a purchaser because of lack of access to market. So if we have to think in terms of doubling the income of a farmer by 2025 or 22 or 25, we need to improve on all these things. All the political parties, except possibly the so-called communist parties, they have always referred to these three issues. Manifestos, they always said, we will bring improvement to the existing APMC Act. We will provide better market access. We will ensure that farmers produce, Joe produce, he produces in his farm, will get a better remunerative price. So Mr. Modi, as the Prime Minister, did not stop at announcing this in the manifesto. He took a very bold decision and brought in amendments to the existing acts. What has he done? Number one, APMC Acts have not been abolished. APMC Act continues wherever it is available because APMC Act is a state act. It is not a central act. So what he has done, APMC Acts will continue. But what he has done is he has freed the agriculturists or the farmers from the clutches of the middlemen. Now a farmer can go to the mandi, APMC yard, he can sell his produce if it is fetching a good price, or he can go and give it to any private individual who is willing to buy his product at a reasonable price. Or somebody can go to his farm itself. He need not bring it to a yard. He need not bring it to a dealer. He can straight away, the dealer can go to, or the businessman can go to the farm, offer a good price and buy it. Number one. Number two, in the protest, they are misleading the farmers, saying that there is a scheme called minimum support price. It is a scheme, it is not an act. It is a scheme designed to help the farmer under the market intervention scheme. Supposing, say, let's assume, supposing the farmer produces wheat, almost the entire wheat growing belt will harvest the wheat at the same time. So there will be plenty of wheat available in the market. Obviously, when there is too much of supply, the prices are manipulated, it is brought down. So unfortunately, the poor farmer, when he brings his produce to the market to sell, because of the glut in the market, because of excess wheat available in the market, the traders used to bring down the price because it is available in plenty. The poor farmer did not have the facility to store the produce for a long period of time, for lack of money, for lack of facility, for lack of storage and all kinds of things. So to avoid this, government introduced this scheme. Because of the glut in the market, if the prices are being brought down artificially, the government used to intervene, announce a support price, which used to cover a certain amount of cost of cultivation, and start buying that from the farmer, so that traders could not exploit the farmer. So this scheme was called as market intervention scheme, and the value announced by the government was called as minimum support price. So farmers were demanding, because of the amendment to the existing act, the MSP will be abolished, MIS will be abolished. Number one, APMC Act will not be abolished because it is a state act. Government has agreed to give it in writing. minimum support price and market intervention scheme will not be abolished because it is a scheme and we are willing to give it in writing. The third observation made by the so-called protesting farmers was about the contract farming. Contract farming, at the center there was no enactment, there was no law. Whereas in Punjab, the state government had enacted a law to control or to manage this contract farming scheme. In which case, the Punjab government had already got into an enactment where if the farmer refuses to go by the contract term, he was liable to be punished with a penalty as well as imprisonment of 5 years. The present enactment of contract farming as envisaged enacted by the central government has brought in certain amendment to the existing clauses in the Punjab listing. Not that we have referred to Punjab enactment, but they have formulated an enactment where, number one, there is no relation between farmer's land and the contracting firm. The contracting firm, whoever it is, cannot have an agreement with the land. Land will never be compromised. Number two, the contract is only with the produce of the farmer. That means the contract terms will ensure that farming contract is only to the extent of the farm produce for which you have come into an agreement on an agreed price. And if there is a dispute between the businessman and the farmer, a special court has been organized where within 30 days the farmer has to be given the benefit of doubt or the justice. And their other demand was farmer must be permitted to go to the court. So there is no clause in the agreement where a farmer is denied his rightful access to any judicial redressal or he cannot be stopped from going to a court. Now, farmers had observations. There are people from the village, they may not be aware of the clauses in the enactment. But unfortunately, the farmer has been misguided by certain vested interest groups. Who are these vested interest groups? Number one, the Arthias or the commission agents, the Dalals.
Yes, sir.
Because if this happens, they will not have their earnings because farmer will not be duty bound to come to the yard. He can go and sell it anywhere. The private traders can directly go to the farm and negotiate with the farmer and give him a better price and take the product. So the dalals or the commission agents were little worried about this, number one. Number two, this is a path-breaking enactment. During the last 70 years, the farmers were under the clutches of the middlemen, and the Modi government has brought them out of the clutches of the middlemen.
Yes, sir.
That means farming community, as it is there with the Modi government, politically, the middlemen as well as the other political parties came to an understanding that if this materializes, we will not have no space left at all in the political arena. So the political parties like Congress or Communist or AAP or all other fractions, they joined hands looking at a possible political eventuality where farmers can be put against or portrayed against the BJP. Then communists have joined the strike. The staying parties in states where there is only one state now in Kerala.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no APMC Act at all. There is absolutely no APMC Act. People who are fighting for APMC Act, they themselves in their own state, they have not implemented the APMC Act. So at the outset, with the preliminary discussions what I have arrived at, I only say these amendments and enactments are in favor of the farming sector. This is in favor of the farming community. And government is willing to talk to any issue, any concern of the farmer, clause by clause. Bring the enactment in front of you, keep in front of us. We will go one clause by one clause, one clause by one clause. We'll explain. You tell us where is the problem. And lastly, government has had 10 rounds of discussion or 11 rounds of discussion with the farmer leaders.
Yes, sir.
When they said, please don't abolish MSP, we said, yes, we will not abolish MSP, we'll give it in writing. They said, APMC Act, don't do anything about it. We said, we'll give it in writing, no problem. When they said, please continue with the MISP, market intervention scheme, we said we'll give it in writing and we'll continue with the market intervention scheme. But when we refer to these three major issues they took out, when the government has agreed, they'll say all that is fine, but repeal the act, take out the act. So there is no rationale, there is no reasoning, there is no logic. If you permit me to say, this is only hatred and intolerance of certain sections of political parties and certain section in the society who are vested interest is being demolished. Only such people with a very sinister design, they have joined hands, they have come together only to defame the Modi government. The political intolerance towards Narendra Modi ji and his government is reflected in the farmers' protest which is going on. My sympathies and my party's sympathies are with farmers. My party is willing, the central government is willing to sit and talk to the farmers clause by clause on any issue, on any concern they are worried about. But taking law into hand, disturbing normal life, disturbing traffic, resorting to violence, insulting the national symbols like flag will not be tolerated.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So my next question to you regarding this the same issue, this problem, this farmer protest is that there are some of the international personalities like one is a pop singer Rihanna, other is the economist and economical some economics
Expert.
some economists from the Western world, sir, and one of the few like other persons like porn star Mia Khalifa and the nephew of Kamala Harris of USA, the Mina Harris, and all these people have just like protested against all these farm laws. So, how do you see, sir, the involvement of the Western world in Indian internal issues?
Okay. Number one, it is an internal issue, like you rightly said.
Yeah.
So, India, with the due respect to all those so-called important people, with the due respect for them, we would like to politely tell them, please mind your own business. It's an internal matter. We will manage. We are capable of looking out our own affairs. Number two, see, India is emerging as a global leader.
Yes, sir.
India is emerging as a global power. India is emerging as a global economic power. India is emerging as a manufacturing hub of the world. India has already become the pharmaceutical capital of the world. So the India's emergence as a global player and a powerful player, and Mr. Modi being acknowledged as the global leader, is something which is not tolerated by certain, I would say, communities world over. China has its vested interest. Pakistan has its vested interest in defaming India.
Yes, sir.
China and Pakistan have tried to promote the separatist elements in the Punjab, which is called as Khalistanis.
Yes, sir.
Every Punjabi is not a part of a Khalistan movement. Punjabis are nation-loving people. Punjabis, the Sikh community has greatly, immensely contributed and sacrificed for the welfare of the nation. But there is a small element or a small fraction among that community who have become very separatist. They have an agenda of forming a Khalistan. Now, China and Pakistan have joined hands in promoting that anti-national element among the Sikh community. This is one part. Secondly, these feminism, activism, human rights, all these activists, they have an agenda. They are looking at India coming out of the shadows of this Western thinking, and India is asserting they call it as a right-wing nation, but I would like to say India is asserting as India. The Bharat that we are all very proud of is asserting itself, which is not tolerated by this section of society. And they are being promoted by vested interests abroad. Be it Tukde Tukde gang, be it the communists, be it the anti-national elements, be it the separatists who are operating in Kashmir and other parts of the country. They all have come together with the support of all these elements. The last point is, Who are these so-called celebrities who are, tweeting against India?
Yes, sir.
The Greta Thunberg. She is supposed to be a acclaimed environmentalist.
Yeah.
Did she utter a single word
Hmm.
when the stubble burning in Punjab was contributing towards an environmental hazard? She did not say anything.
Hmm.
Today she is talking of farmer protests. I'm with the farmers. So there is a sinister agenda behind all these things, and I condemn this. And India will not give them any weightage, and India is capable of handling this issue on
Hmm.
our own. And we have faith in our farming community. Farming community produces for the entire nation in excess of our requirement. So we respect. And Modi government has done extremely important measures they have taken up in the last 5 6 years to improve the farming conditions of the poor farmer at the grassroots level. Be it Kisan Samman Yojana, be it Kisan Sampad Yojana, be it one drop more crop, be it putting lots of money into creating agriculture infrastructure, be it standalone pump set are to be given the solar power, all these things. And after the enactment of these three acts, people are afraid of MSP and withdrawing of MSP and all that. Modi government has given a much better reward by bringing more crops under the MSP scheme and giving them a better remunerative price. This has happened. The procurement of wheat, procurement of pulses, procurement of paddy during the last 1 year is a record of its kind in the history of our country. So only a small section of disgruntled anti-Modi and anti-development gang have come together as a last resort as they have no other political issues.
Hmm. So, sir, my next question to you is regarding, sir, the Western countries' interference in Indian internal issues, like the Canadian Prime Minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau. Some days back, had held protests against the this ongoing farmer protest and had asked India to obey the farmers. So, sir, what was the exact reason, according to you? Was
Uh,
Justin Trudeau was making happy the Sikh community that are settled in Canada, and might be he was using them as a vote bank? What do you think, sir,
yes,
about it?
exactly. See, the Khalistan movement has its strong base in Canada and in partly in UK.
Okay.
Now, in Canada, the Sikh community has a sizable presence,
Hmm.
and they do politically maneuver things to the advantage of any incumbent, prime minister of this country.
Hmm.
So, Justin Trudeau, without understanding the ramifications, being the premier of that country, without understanding the international relations, without understanding the relation between two countries, I think he has erred. He's done something wrong in commenting on the internal matters of India. So I condemn this. Whoever he is, it is something unacceptable. The one part. Secondly, that may have given a certain amount of visibility for the farmers' protest, but India will not take it seriously.
Yes.
Somebody talking about our internal affair, do you think we take it seriously? We will not take it
Oh,
seriously.
oh,
We'll only caution him the issue that you are trying to rake up is going to eat you alive. Please be aware. The ramifications are not going to be in India. Ramifications are going to be in your own country. It is not only Sikhs who are living in that country. There are other Indians also. So before opening up your mouth on an internal issue, just think twice. This is what I would like to caution the premier as a citizen of this country, as a nation-loving citizen of this country.
hmm.
The second part is they have a minuscule presence in UK also. In UK also they are creating some problem. But
Yes, sir.
look at the measured, look at the responsible statement made by the Prime Minister of UK. He has said it's an internal affair. India is capable
Hmm.
of managing its affairs. So this is the international statesmanship. I think somebody from Canada is falling short of this, even though he's the premier of the country, but he's
Yes,
falling
sir.
short as a statesman from that country.
Yeah. So, sir, my next question to you that what do you think that what measures should be taken to stop this farmer protest in India?
Okay. Well, we all believe in democracy, right?
Hmm. Yes, sir.
We all have a very soundly founded constitution.
Hmm.
And we have a central government and we have state government, federal structure.
Yes.
Any problem cannot remain a problem continuously. It will have a solution.
Hmm.
Now, this solution, how do you arrive at a solution? You may go on rampaging, the public and civic structure by resorting to violence. You
Hmm.
can go and climb the ramparts of the Red Fort and hoist a flag belonging to a particular community. You can attack the police. Will you find solution? Ultimately, solution is possible only through dialogue. From the very first day, this government headed by Sri Narendra Modi ji and the Agriculture Department led by Tomar Singh ji openly been giving calls to the agitating farmers, please come for discussions. It is
Yes,
not
sir.
that just gave a call. 10 rounds of discussions were held. I am
Hmm.
of the very strong opinion farmers will make a turnaround. They will understand the importance of dialogue. They'll come back to the negotiating table. They will raise genuine issues if they have any.
Hmm.
And this government is capable of finding solutions. I, as a citizen, I make an earnest appeal to all the farming community. Have your logic, have your reasoning, be rational, sit and discuss with the concerned people in the ministry and arrive at the solution if there is any problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
So, sir, I would
Yes.
like to ask another question regarding the same thing only. Like, sir, how do you think are some political parties of India are trying to confuse the farmers by diverting them against the BJP-led government?
No, you have raised the political issue. See,
Hmm.
political parties, they want a political space. How do they create a political space? Not by progressive agenda, not by positive approach. They have always resorted to divisive agenda. Now,
Hmm.
what they're trying to do is trying to impregnate the political base of BJP among the farming community by
Hmm.
raking up this issue. Now, please ask a question to the Congress government. Why did you mention about the reforms in the farming sector in your manifesto? Why some of your premier leaders, including former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, said that the APMC Act has to be abolished? Why did he say that? You
Hmm.
ask NCP chief Sharad Pawar, as an agriculture minister, what is the statement you made in the parliament? You can ask them. You can ask the Communist Party, why don't you introduce APMC Act in Kerala state? What has stopped you from doing it? You go and see in Bihar, there is no APMC Act. You call
Yes, sir.
them and talk to them because they don't have logic, they don't have reasoning. They have looked at an opportunity somehow to join a protest where it is against Modi. This protest in the name of farming sector, in the name of farmers, is
Hmm.
not for the genuine concern for the farming community. It is not for finding solution for their problems. In this country, almost 60 years, Congress was in power. Why there is continued problems in the farming sector? What did you do? Why didn't you do it all these years? Why did you not? Why didn't you not? Why did you not give a better price for the farming produce? Why there was no power? Why there was no road? For
Hmm.
a Kisan rail to be introduced, Modi had to come. For a cold storage container to be attached to every train, Modi had to come, isn't it? So why there is Kisan rail so popular today? Thrice a week you are running Kisan rail. There is demand for more number of Kisan rail. So any progressive legislation always will have some opposition. Any legislation for that matter.
Yes,
You
sir.
say every citizen has to be given citizenship, there is protest. You bring in Citizen Amendment Act to give citizenship to the exploited minuscule minority community in Pakistan and Bangladesh, there is protest.
Yes, sir.
You abrogate Article 370, Article 35A, there is protest. You
Hmm.
say you become part of the National Registry of Citizenship, there is protest. So, for any legislation with the vested interest, there is a small section of society which will protest. But that protest is symbolic because majority of the community will not accept it. Now, as an individual, don't you think things have improved in the country? Article 370, Article 35A, things have not improved. We could conduct a peaceful election in Jammu and Kashmir recently. There is no pelting of stones. There is no daily bomb blast happening in the valley. Why we have to suffer? This country will understand that what Modi has done in Jammu and Kashmir is in the interest of the country. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, Kutch to Kamrup, day after day, every day almost, there used to be bomb blasts. Do you see, listen to bomb blasts these days? So
No.
this man is struggling hard to bring development to the forefront.
Hmm.
And people who enjoyed power all these years at the cost of this nation's development are crying and they're resorting to all these things. So the agenda is not farmers' welfare, agenda is their own welfare,
Hmm.
which they did not do, they could not do all these years. So we must understand the sinister design behind this, the political angle to this, and understand this from their
Yeah.
perspective.
Yes, sir. So my next and last question to you is regarding the Delhi riots that occurred on 26th January. So, sir,
Yeah.
what do you think that who is the mastermind behind all this Delhi riots on 26th Jan? Because day before this protest began, or like on this tractor parade, there was an there were some divisions among the farmers only. Like some were like demanding a peaceful march, some were asking to just to go to the Red Fort, and as per to a MOU that was signed between the Delhi police and in between the farmer unions, that they will conduct a peaceful march. But suddenly on 26th Jan, this rampage was started, and many of like hundreds of policemen got injured, and one of the protesters died due to overturning of a tractor. So how do you think, like,
Yes.
who is the main mastermind behind all these riots that happened in Delhi?
Okay. Okay. Number one, I'm a former soldier. You know it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody denigrating my national symbol, my national flag, my
Hmm.
heart bleeds. I cry. That day I cried. To be frank, that day I cried.
Hmm.
We have protests, we have issues, we have a lot of problems in this country.
Yeah.
But you cannot resort to violence. You cannot take a, Jatha, go to Red Fort, climb the fort, and the mast where you hoist the national flag, you hoist some other flag. Can you
Hmm.
tolerate this? Can you see 394 policemen being attacked and injured? Can this happen in a peaceful country? The same policemen were having weapon, but
Hmm.
they were so constrained, they did not want to create a scene. They did not resort to Golibar.
Hmm.
No, my sympathies are with the farmers. My sympathies are genuinely with the poor and innocent farmers.
Hmm.
But on 26th January, there was an agenda by these so-called protesters, a section of protesters who wanted the Delhi police to resort to violence. They wanted Delhi police to resort to Golibar. They
Hmm.
wanted a few innocent to be killed in the Golibar. And then they wanted to make a big issue out of it. We had, I would say, a responsible government, that is, Modi's government, understood the sinister design, requested the police to maintain restraint, and ensure that no violence is resorted to. So instead of attacking the unruly crowd attacked the police.
Hmm.
394 police got injured. And within the protesting farmers group, yes, you rightly said, there was a section of sane thinking, nation loving, innocent farmers. They said nothing doing. This
Hmm.
is a national festival. 26th January is the most respected day for the nation. This
Yes,
is
sir.
the day Ambedkar ji gave our constitution to us, which was adopted by the assembly or the parliament.
Hmm.
And we celebrate it as Republic Day. And this is the day the country showcases its might to the entire world. The parade that happens in the Rajpath is something which is appreciated by the countries world over. So on that day, on a very important day, when it is the duty of every citizen to go and salute the national flag and show our respect and commitment to the nation, you go and resort to violence, you attack police, you go and hoist a flag other than national flag on the mast in Red Fort. What
Hmm.
is that you're trying to do? So my heart burns. My heart bleeds. I'm in tears. Actually, I cannot tolerate this. So intention was understood by the government. And it was properly handled.
Hmm.
So in a way, I condemn all those elements which wanted to create havoc, which wanted to create a kind of lawlessness in the country. I will make an appeal to the government. Identify each one of them and take them to task. we must send a message that it is rule of law which is prevalent in this country. If you take law into hand, law will take its own due course. We have to tell that.
जी
Otherwise, the sacrifices made by the Jawans along the border and by the police within the country in safeguarding the integrity of the nation will go a waste. Because people along the border, they are ready to sacrifice their life for the peace and tranquility to prevail upon among the people and the nation within the country. So if within the country you cannot look after this, safeguard this, then no point sacrificing your life along the border. So that is the kind of commitment we all should have. Okay?
So thank you very much, sir, for your time being, and
Yeah.
we hope that, sir, there will be a next session with you in the
Yes.
upcoming days regarding some national and international issues. So
Yes, please.
till then, Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you, Jai Hind, and my best wishes. Viewers, please subscribe to this good channel, Nationalistic Movement. Thank you once again. God bless you. Jai Hind.
Yes, sir.